All right, and that will do it. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Bit of a shocking victory over the Baltimore Ravens. And we're going to go ahead and get started right now. Welcome, everybody, to JG9 Live. Hope you guys are ready to have a lot of fun tonight over the next 2 hours or so. My name is Jaguars9, and this is our weekly stream, our recap of the week in the NFL. You guys know the drill if you've been here before. Thank you guys for choosing to spend your Sunday night with me. If you have any questions, just fire away in the chat. I will be happy to answer. Let me unmute on Twitch as well. So we have a big show tonight. You guys ask me any questions, I will be happy to answer. If you want to have your question moved to the front of the queue, we have the donation leaderboard. Otherwise, I'm just going to go in the order that I see the questions. But thank you guys again for spending tonight with us. And I'm looking at both the YouTube chat and the Twitch chat. So if you have any questions, just fire away. Happy New Year, JG9, first stream of the new year. Yes, it is. Thank you so much. And Happy New Year to you all. Thank you guys so much. First stream of the new year. Yeah. Where do you see Max Duggan and Stetson Bennett going in the NFL draft day 3? I don't see him going any higher than that. I think day 3. Let's see. Which QB out of these two would be best fit for the Jets post Wilson? White, Lamar, or Carr? Definitely not Mike White. Definitely not Mike White. He's a solid backup. He's not anything more than that. Lamar can play at least, although he gets hurt all the time. And Carr, I think, is done. I think Carr is done. So I would say Lamar. And yes, this was the best college football playoff semifinals ever. Easily. The only time there was ever 2 good games. Only time ever. I wrote a Twitter thread about how this year's Jags remind me of the 1990 Cowboys. Yeah, I saw that thread. That was pretty good. Look, if we don't make the playoffs this year, but we wind up having a 90s Cowboys dynasty, I'm not gonna say no. Audio is not working on Twitch. All right, let me see if I can fix that. Because we have had some issues with the audio on Twitch. I'm not sure what the issue is there. So let me add an audio source. Oh man. All right. So the issue with the audio is that Twitch just randomly decided to update the audio file. Okay, wait. Are we good? Are we good now? Hopefully. Are we good? Are we good now? Are we good on Okay, we're good. Okay. All right. So we are good. I don't know what happened. Okay, we're good now. I don't know what happened there, but why must I live in Minnesota? Just want to. Yeah, the Vikings today. Holy cow! And every time they've had a national game with Romo and Nance, it just has not worked out at all. Yeah, no word yet on the Week 18 schedule. No word. We'll find out probably tomorrow. I think we really should find out tonight because there's nothing really left to know. There's nothing really to know at this point. The Bengals have won the division. Pretty much. Bengals have won the division. The Bills, they're still playing for the one on Week 18 win or lose. So I don't know why they haven't announced it yet. They really should. So hopefully we get an announcement late tonight, but otherwise we'll probably get tomorrow. Is TCU this season the college football version of the 2021 Bengals? I think that's a good comparison. I think that's a pretty good comparison in terms of a team that no one expected anything out of, struggled last year, and just made a miracle run. I could see that. I cannot believe we actually had a competitive college football playoff semifinal game, let alone 2 back-to-back. Yeah, the best one of all time is still Georgia against Oklahoma. That's still the best one of all time. But this was 2 and 3. This was definitely 2 and 3. Carson Wentz, welcome to the USFL. I don't think he's going to USFL. He'll still find work as a backup, but, I mean, why do they even go back to him? Well, you know what you have in him. That's the thing. You know what you have in Wentz at this point. You know exactly what he is. He's not good. And no, Heineke was not good at all. I'm not saying Heineke was any good. I'm not saying Heineke deserved a starting job. But you go with him over Wentz. At least Heineke, for the most part, before the San Fran game, wasn't doing anything stupid. At least he wasn't actively costing you games like Wentz did. He wasn't throwing bad picks. I think going back to Wentz was a horrible, horrible decision, and I really don't know what they were thinking. It's a bad look for Ron Rivera, especially after what happened today, and especially after the post-game press conference. Especially after that, where he did not know the scenarios. He didn't know that they could be eliminated today. It's a very basic scenario. It's not anything complicated. If you don't know that your own team can be eliminated, oh man. Look, at the end of the day, you have a head coach that has has 5 consecutive seasons with losing records. At this point, do I think it's the end for him in Washington? I don't know, but it very well could be. It very well could be. I don't know who would want to come to that situation, who would want to work under Dan Snyder, unless they get new ownership. Plus, you have to remember that whoever the new coach is, if Dan Snyder does not sell the team I know he's going to sell. He's looking to sell. But a new owner is going to come in eventually, and he's going to want his own guys, and he will have no problem cleaning house. So I don't know who you're going to get in Washington, because you don't have a quarterback, you're in a tough division, where all 3 teams are in the playoffs, you have an owner that's a pain to work for, and the moment that the owner walks away, which will probably be sometime in the next 12 months, the new owner will have no problem bringing in his own staff and his own guys, because he has no attachment to you whatsoever. And he can buy you out of his contract because $6 billion, what's another $8 million to buy you out, or whatever it comes out to be. So I don't think. I think Ron stays one more year. $2 from Jacob. Thank you so much. Was there anything positive for my Vikings? I would say no one got hurt, but then again, you had 2 guys get carted off early in the game. And thank you for the follow, Chaparral 2K. And thank you for the follow, Bonald Board on Twitch, Ferretta06. Let's see, who else? Nordbites. We also have, sorry, my Twitch is kind of buffering right now. We have MJQL88, Jagar9989, KCMO for life, Kansas City, Missouri for life, Court Ricks. Yeah, and that's everything. About how, yeah, so, Nathaniel Hackett's free Washington can hire him. Yeah, no, there was nothing positive for the Vikings today. There was nothing positive from that game whatsoever. That was terrible. How were Fields and White left in during their respective blowouts? I have no answer on Fields. I don't know why you leave him in a situation like that. Too high risk. Mike White, I get why you left Mike White in. I completely have no problem with leaving Mike White in, even though he's not the guy. You're not going to put Flacco out there in a lame duck situation like that. But Justin Fields, I don't know why you leave him in. Too much of a risk. You're not playing for anything this year. Who will be the NFL Coach of the Year? My money is still on Sirianni if they get the 1. But if they don't, I'm going to go Shanahan. If they don't get the 1, I'm going to go Shanahan. The fact that the Niners are doing this well and could possibly get the 1 seed with all the injuries they've had to deal with, especially a quarterback, I think you have to give it to Shanahan. Let's see. Does Kenny Pickett's future look a little brighter for game-winning touchdown drives 2 weeks in a row? I mean, he's clutch. I'm not going to deny that. He's clutch. Those throws he made to win it were great. Throws he made to win it were absolutely great. Doesn't change the fact that the first 57 minutes of the game, he has not really done anything. It hasn't really been great in terms of looking past 5 yards, but I will say he is clutch when it matters most. He is absolutely clutch when it matters most. We have $5 from Scorpion, thank you so much. The Texans sure have been Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde the past 4 weeks. You can say that again. I'll talk about the Jaguars in about probably 10 minutes. We'll probably go 10 minutes until the Jaguars recap. Probably go 10 minutes for the Jags recap. Texans, I had a feeling that this was not going to be close. I did have a feeling. Normally when a team like that finally gets a win, they then have an emotional letdown game. And that's what that felt like. All right, let's see what we have. What's the donation goal for you to buy a Jags noggin ball set if they win a playoff game? What do you want the goal to be? What do you want the goal? Do you think Brian Flores will ever be a head coach again? I think some team will give him a shot. I think so. Look, if Lovie Smith can get a third opportunity, if Mike Mularkey can get a third opportunity, there's no reason Brian Flores can't get a second. Todd Bowles can get a second one. If Dennis Allen, Josh McDaniels, if they get one. $5 I can cover that easily. Well, I need to have enough to buy the hat. I need to have enough to at least buy the hat. We have a $2 from eRock 2020. Thank you so much. This week, my Browns get to send Pitt home. Sweet. I'm hoping. Oh, we have an announcement. Titans Jaguars Saturday night. Titans Jaguars on Saturday night. Chiefs Raiders is the 4:30 game. Titans Jaguars is 8:15 on Saturday night. Saturday night, Titans Jaguars. That is awesome. And I'll explain why that's awesome in just a bit. We do have a few questions on how he would fix the Colts. First thing is you fire Jeff Saturday. And I don't mean you fire him at the end of the season. I mean you fire him right now. Right now. And the reason why, aside from the fact that he's woefully unqualified, we all know he's woefully unqualified. He is in way over his head. Here's why you fire him. There was a moment in today's game where Nick Foles went down. He got sacked by Thibodeau. He got hurt. You had Thibodeau, who didn't see the injury, by the way. He did not see the injury. But he was doing snow angels next to Nick Foles and his dead body. And you know what the Colts did about it? Absolutely nothing. They did absolutely nothing. No offensive lineman got in his face. No one pushed him out of the way to clear the room for Foles. They just let him lay there. And they just let the Giants celebrate over him and did nothing about it. What does that say about the culture that Jeff Saturday has created? And yes, it wasn't a good situation, but what does that say that you have guys who are not even trying to help him out? What does that say? If I'm a Colts fan, I'd be livid about that. That was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. If I'm the Colts, I blow it all up. You get rid of Ballard. He's done nothing since 2018 in terms of drafting. The offensive line is still a mess. Quentin Nelson has become... And I love the guy coming out of college. I really did. I loved him coming out of college. The highest rated guard I ever had. He has now become the most overrated player in football. He made the Pro Bowl off of name alone. He is not good anymore. He is not what he used to be. You blow everything up. There are very few pieces on that team that you can even work with. You blow that up. That's how you fix the Colts. You blow it all up. Because they are so far away from doing anything that you cannot do what you did this year or last year or the year before that where you go and sign a quarterback who is past his prime and who is not that good anymore. Granted, Rivers actually was all right in 2020. A veteran's not going to fix this team. This is not a plug-and-play situation. Yeah, you should be livid about that because that was the worst display of a team not being a cohesive unit I've seen since the Raiders in 2014 when Derek Carr got hurt and no offensive lineman helped him up. None of his offensive linemen helped him off the field, and Dennis Allen got fired the very next day. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, Buck and Aikman would do Titans Jaguars. 8:15, they are doing Titans Jaguars in that case. Okay, and here's why I'm happy about the Saturday night game. Here's why I'm happy. That means we are having a Week 18 stream. It was up in the air because I am going to the game. I will be down in Jacksonville at that game, Week 18. I've got my tickets. The fact that it's a Saturday night game means that I can fly back early Sunday morning and be here and do my thing. If the game was Sunday night, there would not be a stream, because I would not get back to my hotel until probably 12:30 in the morning. And the Wi-Fi is probably not going to be the best. I mean, it's Hyatt Wi-Fi, it's good, but to do a stream like this, probably not the best. And I have to get up at, I have to catch an early Monday morning flight, so I have to get up at like 3:30 in the morning. So it would not be great. It would not be great. It would not be ideal. And I would say I would just do a Monday night stream instead, but that's college football championship, so we probably wouldn't get a whole lot of people for that. So I'm glad we're doing Saturday night, because it just means Sunday, everything can stay exactly the same. Plus, it also means that I can root for Sunday's games based on what happens Saturday. Because there's a scenario where the Jaguars can still get in as a wild card. And I can at least root for that, knowing that on Sunday, versus doing all this beforehand. I like getting out of the way first. Maybe it's just me, because I'm so used to playing 1 o'clock games. I love just getting it out of the way. First game, get out of the way, and then you can enjoy the rest and know what you have to do and root for the rest. I don't like waiting. That's why I don't like the East Coast at all. Because you wake up and there's still plenty of time before football starts. So, you do a small live stream after the game Saturday. It would not be possible, because the Wi-Fi, if you've ever been to TIAA Bank Field, the Wi-Fi is not that good. The Wi-Fi is not that good. And I'd be walking back from the stadium to the hotel. It would if we win, I might do something. If we win, I might try to hop on my phone and see how it goes. I might just hop on and see how it goes, if it comes down to that. But otherwise, I'm not sure. It's up in the air. I'm not going on after a loss. I will say that much. I'm not going on after a loss. After a win, I might do a surprise live stream. We will see. On the walk back, we will see. It also might be very, very loud. Very celebratory, because I was there in 2017 when we beat the Texans to clinch playoff spot, and it was very celebratory. So we will see. The walk back is very fun after a win, and it's not that fun after a loss. It's about a 2-mile walk. Who do you like in the national championship? I've got Georgia. Then again, their defense has not been playing great lately. It's back-to-back games where the defense has kind of laid an egg, but I still like Georgia. It's amazing after the dumpster fire the NFC East was the past 2 years, they have 3 teams in the playoffs this year. No one saw that coming. I thought they'd only get one. I thought they'd get the Eagles. I thought the Cowboys were not going to be that good this year. I thought they got worse in the offseason, so they didn't really make any big moves. I thought losing Amari Cooper was going to hurt a ton. And they're doing really well. So, with the Jets out, is Mike White the permanent solution, and where should Zach Wilson be traded? Should he go to Denver? He's not the permanent solution. He's a backup option. It's the same boat that Gardner Minshew was in. L. Iwoki with the sub. Thank you so much for that. He's not a permanent solution. Zach Wilson, where should he be traded? I don't know. I don't know. It's a terrible, terrible situation with him. Because you got 2 years of control at least, which is good. But has he even shown any potential? Has he even shown that he can be a backup? Like, at least with guys like Mike White, Gardner Minshew, Tyler Huntley to an extent. Guys like that, no, you don't want them starting for long periods of time, obviously. No backup wants to start for a long period of time. You don't want that. But at the same time, they've shown that they can at least play. Mike White has shown that he can at least play. He's not the guy, but Zach Wilson has not shown anything that he can play. He's not a number 2. Like, this is not like Sam Darnold, at least, if it didn't work out. Okay, he showed at least that he can be a 2. Zach Wilson's not even a 2. So I don't know where he's going. Because you need to have a team that will pay, $4 million a year for a number 3 quarterback? It's a bad situation. It's a very bad situation. If I had to say a team, I would say, let's say maybe Buffalo or Cincy. Somewhere where he's not the guy. They don't really have a backup quarterback. That's great. And you can maybe build him up in the preseason, let him get a lot of preseason reps, and then trade him somewhere. And almost like the Teddy Bridgewater thing with the Jets. Remember when he was on the Jets? Signed there, played him in the preseason, then they traded him before he even played a snap in the regular season and got some picks out of him. That's the only situation I could see. A situation, the only way I'm taking a flyer on Zach Wilson right now, the only way, is if I am a team that their number one quarterback is dead set, you don't really have a number 2 or a number 3, or you have a 2, but he's a veteran, he doesn't have to play that much, and you play him in the preseason, you let him play the entire time because you're not playing your starter in the preseason, and you just hope that he can accumulate value. And then hope for someone to get hurt. And then you can trade him for something. Our latest video, someone suggested that divisions and conferences are arbitrary and we should do away with them. Is that a good suggestion? No, I don't agree with getting rid of that, because as long as you have an unbalanced schedule, you have to have divisions and conferences. You just have to. If this was soccer, where you play everyone twice, once home, once away, there's no point for divisions. But something like this, you need divisions, and you need conferences. Also, I'm happy you did a video on the Steelers-Giants game from 63. Great video. Thank you so much. I could tell what it was about as soon as I saw the thumbnail. That was a very interesting, because I knew about the Giants and winning the East. I didn't know that game was for first place. I didn't know until like yesterday or the day before that game was for first place. I'm like, what? How does that make any sense? Yeah, divisions and conferences, yeah, they're fun. Where does Derek Carr go? Where does Carr go? My guess is Indy, even though I don't agree with it. If I'm the Colts, again, I think you blow it up, you don't get a veteran. Or if you get a veteran, it's a stopgap backup option. So the rookie can have some leeway, you don't have to play him right away. That's not where Carr's going to go. He's going to go somewhere where he can start. Which, knowing the Colts and knowing how much they love getting veteran quarterbacks, I would say the Colts right now. I would say the Colts. Then again, I'm not sure if I would want Carr. I'm not sure if I would even want Carr at all. I don't want a guy that leaves the team. He gets benched, he's making $40 million, and he leaves the team. I don't care that it was apparent, like that it was apparently McDaniel's decision or the owner's decision. I don't care about that. I don't care. You're making $40 million. Your team is still in the playoff hunt. You're not hurt. You stay with your team. You stay with your team. I wouldn't want a quarterback like that. I would not want a quarterback like that. Is this the most stressed I've ever been this late in the season as a Jags fan? I'm not sure if stressed is the right word, because I'm just enjoying the ride right now. I don't really feel stressed so much as it is enjoying the ride. Remember, this team was 4-29 the last 2 years. Back-to-back years with the number one pick. And Daniel Jones to the Giants, or Carr to the Giants, no way. No way. They're not giving up on Jones after this year. Like, we were 2-6 and down 17-0 to the Raiders in Game 9. I don't really feel stress. Now, granted, I'll feel stress during the game on Saturday, but I don't really feel stress. I'm just enjoying the ride right now because this is a dream season. This is an absolutely dream season. Super Bowl predictions. I still got Bills winning it all. Nothing changes there. I have no reason to change the pick. I don't know. Right now, the Niners, I know a rookie quarterback has never done it. Never made it, but I don't know. I love that defense. I love that defense. Where does Carr go? I think that's called luggage. Thanks, Dad. Is Mariota done? Done in Atlanta? Yes. Done in the NFL? No. But done as a starter? Yes. Why have Chiefs Raiders Saturday? The Saturday 4:30 game is never any good. The Saturday 4:30 game is not good. The Saturday 4:30 game, that's not a high-rated game. That's the number 2 crew on ESPN. It's not a great game, so they were never going to put a great game on there. Sunday night end cap, if Titans Jaguars is that, it's going to be Lions Packers. It's going to be Lions Packers. JG8 video idea, the craziest turnaround in college football, UCF 2015-17. That's a good one. Rip Saints playoffs. I'm shocked they got that far. Honestly, I'm shocked they're 7-9. Very quietly 7-9. Did I see the Giants in the playoffs? Yes, I'm happy for them. Haven't been since 2016. Daniel Jones. Look, I think a lot of people were wrong on him, myself included. Is he the guy? I'm not sure, but he's not making mistakes this year, and that's the important part. And Zabel is really, really good right now. Was this the worst coach game that Harbaugh has ever coached, at least in college? Yes, absolutely. Would it be a dumb decision video worthy? Probably not, but it was bad. The 4th down call, stupid, really stupid. The timeout management didn't matter in the end, but it was really, really bad. I don't know what he was doing. How do we see the Giants entering the playoffs? Probably with a loss. I don't think they beat the Eagles, and it's not a knock on the Giants. I just think, why would you play anyone? Why would you play anyone if you're the Giants? You're locked into the number 6 seed. Take a bye week. You can't go up or down depending on whatever you do. Just take a bye week and do it that way. Do Packers make the playoffs? I'm not betting against Aaron Rodgers this late in the season. I think they do. Do I have an Instagram account? Not for JG9. Can I get a shout out for winning 2 fantasy championships today? Yes, you can. Congratulations. I have a league that does a 2-week championship, week 17 and 18. So if you need me, I will be filing a complaint to my commissioner. Who do you think is the 7th seed in the AFC? Honestly, right now, I'm taking Pittsburgh. Honestly, right now, I'm looking at Bills, Pats. I think the Bills win. They're playing for something. Dolphins, Jets. I can't bet on the Dolphins. Right now, they've lost 5 straight. No, the Jets aren't good, but the Dolphins are playing Skylar Thompson at QB. Because Bridgewater's out, Tua's going to be out. Steelers have to beat the Browns. I'm taking Pittsburgh. Honestly, I think Pittsburgh has a shot. Now, then again, if the Jaguars lose to the Titans, and this is the fun part, on Sunday, there is actually a very realistic scenario that it could go that way. Is the Jags playoff game guaranteed to be Saturday 4:30? I'd be very shocked if it's not. Where do I see Stroud and Young going in the draft? Young to Houston, Stroud to whatever team trades up with Carolina at number 2, or with Chicago at number 2, I mean. Let's go Carolina. Instagram isn't exactly JG9's forte. That is true. How do you market a YouTube channel on Instagram? It's tough. It's really tough because on Instagram you have to update the bio every single time. You can't do direct links. So I can't really do it on Instagram. Plus, there's no real way to monetize it. Does Brady retire after this season? I think he stays. If the Packers make the playoffs, do they beat San Fran? Have they ever beaten San Fran? I think you know the answer to that. Do they ever beat San Fran this decade, whenever they play them? That's their kryptonite. That is their kryptonite. What's good, JG9? I'm a Titans fan. Good luck to you guys next week. Thank you so much. Can't really say the same to you guys since you've won all the divisions so many years in a row. But it should be a good game. Why does the NFL play a regular schedule on New Year's Day when it falls on a Sunday but not Christmas? Isn't New Year's Day supposed to be for college bowl games and the NHL Winter Classic? It's always been that way, where they'll play on, because the second's technically a holiday. They don't play on Christmas because it's very complex why they don't play on Christmas. New Year's Day just is a regular day. Christmas is a religious holiday, and long story short, I did a video on it. They played on Christmas in 1971. People caused an uproar. People were furious. Congressmen were proposing ready to ban the NFL on Christmas. So it just didn't go over well. But New Year's, they've never had a problem. All right. Where do I think the Winter Classic will be next year? Because they haven't announced. I could see Seattle, maybe. Get the Kraken on TV. Go to a new market. I can see Seattle. All right. So with that, I think we're going to talk about the Jaguars just for a bit. It's not going to be a super long Jags recap just because there's not a whole lot to talk about today. There's really not. This was a great day for the Jags. This was a great day. I wanted two things out of this game. Win and no one get hurt. Because, yeah, this game actually has meaning. This game has meaning because of what it means for the wild card if we don't beat the Titans. But win and no one gets hurt. And we won and no one got hurt. This was the least stressed I've ever been about a win. Ever been about a win. It's not even close. It's really not close. As soon as we got a stop on the first drive, and then we scored on the first drive, I was like, yep, we got it. We got it. This is going to be a cakewalk. I've never felt that way about this team, by the way. I've never felt that way. Where I knew after 5 minutes, yeah, we got this game in the bag. You realize how many losses I've sat through where I was on the opposite side of that? This is the first time I've ever been on the other side and said, yeah, we've got this. We've got this for sure. Defense, another great game. Granted, Mills missed a lot of throws, but I don't think we had missed tackles. Like, I'm genuinely trying to remember if the Jaguars had any missed tackles today, and I don't think they did. Maybe one or two that were like borderline, but then a guy cleans it up a yard down the field. I legitimately don't think we had... It was the best tackling game I've ever seen this team play. Granted, the Texans have no playmakers. Granted, the fact that Dameon Pierce was not playing helped a lot in that regard. But it was the moment a Jag defender got in the frame and was near a Texan, you knew the play was over. You knew it was over. ETN, obligatory fumble, get that out of the way, and then he was lights out. Snoop Conner had a good game too. Snoop Conner. He had a bad preseason, but I'll tell you what, the last month or so, he's been pretty solid as a rotational option. I really like him. I really like him. And defense played great. Trevor did not have his best game. Tampa's, or the cover two that Lovey plays, has always given him fits, especially the first game this year. But, you know, he did what he had to do. He did what he had to do. Patterson, another great game kicking-wise. Discipline, great. I think 2 penalties. And none of them were anything big. It was like one pass interference penalty that was borderline, and the other one was a block in the back on a punt. But no offensive penalties, nothing to push it back. It was a beautiful game on so many levels. This was a team just taking care of business. And you think of all the streaks we've had to break. We haven't beaten Tennessee in Tennessee since 2013. We beat that. Then we had to play Dallas, even though we haven't won an NFC game in 20 times. We broke that streak. Then we had to play the Jets. We haven't won a Thursday night road primetime game ever. We haven't won a road primetime game since 2000. We ended that streak. And now Texans, we lost 9 straight against them. We ended that streak. This team's special. This team is special. And look, whatever happens, I want to make this clear, but before I do, $2 from Eric Cunningham. Thank you so much. Rivera died on the Carson Wentz hill. I completely agree. I think it was very stupid to go to Wentz when we knew how bad he was, and we knew what kind of bad interceptions he made. At least Tennessee, or no, I said Tennessee because someone said Titans in the chat. At least Heineke. There it is. At least Heineke doesn't make critical mistakes outside of the San Fran game. But I want to make this very clear. This was a team that was 4-29 the last 2 years. 2-6 to start this season off, and down 17-0 in Game 9. If you told me that we'd be in this spot right now, I would not believe you. I would not believe you in the slightest bit. Will it hurt if we lose to the Titans? Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that it will not hurt losing to our biggest rival on our home field for a playoff spot. But at the end of the day, this season has surpassed all my expectations. All my expectations. The fact that we are relevant in Week 18 playing a winner-take-all game for the division title, considering we were the worst team in football last year, and we're in a division that had the number 1 seed in the NFL, just blows my mind. You know, this is just the second time since I graduated middle school we won't finish a season with double-digit losses. Second time. So, the future is bright. The future is bright. We have a quarterback. We have a coach. It is very sustainable. We have a $5 from M. Sarzo. Thank you so much. Saw the name drop for the baseball channel. Called it. Yep, I am going. Sorry about the audio glitch there. I am going Jaguar Gator 7. The first video will drop on February, whatever that Tuesday is after the Super Bowl. I think the 15th? It's Jaguar Gator 7 for 7th inning stretch. So there's nothing up there right now, but the channel is active, I guess. It is live. So if you type in Jaguar Gator 7, that is me. Basketball channel, it's tough with copyright. Eventually I want to do something for every single sport if I have the capability to do so. It's just a matter of hiring people because I want to write all the scripts and record all the audio, but I can't do all this alone anymore. But yeah, the goal is to eventually do for NBA and then Olympics and soccer and all that. Do I regret saying Peterson should be fired in October? Oh, you bet I regret it. Don't listen to me. You bet. Look, the thing with Peterson was that, first off, we had to bet against the entire history of the NFL. Because I said from the start that no coach has ever been successful after being fired after winning a Super Bowl. No coach has ever been successful. The entire history of the NFL has never happened. We had to bet against the entire history of the NFL. And we have. And it's worked. It's worked. It makes no sense. It makes no sense that the Jaguars of all teams have beaten the entire history of the NFL, but it has worked. It has worked. I also said that about Peterson because I was like, okay, you kept him to win games and to develop Trevor. Trevor was not developing. He was not playing well. And we were not winning games. And in fact, Peterson was actively costing the team games. And thank you for the $2. Red Wolf Corp revamp. This is my playoff team this year. Go Jagwagon. Love it. Love it. But the thing with Peterson, his decisions were actively costing the Jaguars games. He would do one really dumb thing a game at the worst possible time. We were losing games because of the coaching, because he wouldn't give up the play calling duties. Now, I mean, you can see this team is better. You can see this team is better. Literally a week after the Trevors and Clutch video, he stepped up. It wasn't a week after, because I put the video up after the Texans game, I think. It was after the Texans game. And then because he had the Broncos drive, and that was terrible. Look, I hope that video ages poorly. I really do. I really hope that video ages poorly. But ever since then, Ravens game, Cowboys game, he has stepped up big time. JG won for SpongeBob because he was number 1. It already aged poorly. Yes, that is true. Believe me, I said from the start, I hope it ages poorly. I really do. I was trying to get in front of the narrative before anyone else could, because you knew the national media was going to create the narrative that Trevor Lawrence is a bust. He's not clutch in certain situations. So I just wanted to lay everything out for that reason. And he immediately broke that, which is awesome. Look, some of my videos age well, some of them don't. I'll be the first to admit it's the gamble you take when you do a video like that. It's the gamble you take. Some of them age phenomenally, and some of them age really poorly. Like that one aged poorly. The Bills-Rams Super Bowl prediction aged phenomenally. I said in week 1, after the first game, based on NFL history, what it says. It says the Rams will miss the playoffs, and the Bills will win the Super Bowl. And the Rams missed the playoffs. So, I don't think anyone saw that coming, but NFL history says otherwise. Scorpion with a $5, thank you so much. Are the Jags playing as good or better than the 2017 team in the final week of the season? Depends which version. Because at their peak, I would say the 2017 team was better. At their peak. And by that I mean great Saxonville and December Bortles. There was a 3-game stretch in December against Indy, Seattle, and Houston where Blake Bortles looked like one of the best quarterbacks in football out of nowhere. Love the channel. Hope you don't forget me as your popularity grows. Thank you so much, Witcher. I will never forget you. Trust me, anyone that's been here from the start, anyone that plays trivia every Wednesday night, everyone, like, I'm not gonna forget you guys. Why would I ever forget you guys? I have a good memory too. I have a good memory. Look, you guys made me what this is. You guys have made this what it is. I'm not forgetting because I memory wipe you. Oh, Men in Black style. Okay. Okay. So, did you have a flex KC Las Vegas in the early ABC ESPN game to see if KC close out the 1 seed? Actually, now, oh man, I just realized something about the KC game. Now I'm concerned about the wild card. Now I'm concerned. Because if KC doesn't win that game for whatever reason, if they don't win, and let's say Buffalo beats Cincy and KC doesn't win, and Buffalo's got the 1. And they don't have to play anyone, and they'll rest everyone, and then New England will probably win, and then they'll get a playoff spot. Or vice versa, if Buffalo loses and KC wins, I don't think Buffalo's playing for anything. They can rest their guys. So now I'm a bit concerned. Now I have that to worry about. And we have a sub from It's a Jack. Thank you so much. Was the World Cup final the best soccer game to be 2-2 going into extra time and then tied at 3 and determined a penalty kick since the 2022 MLS Championship? Best soccer game in 1 month. It's been a while since we had a good soccer game like that. Like a month or so. Alright. Has my opinion on Pickett changed at all tonight? He's way more clutch than I thought. Hasn't changed in terms of his skill set because, look, the video itself that I said about Pickett, the video, I know it was a highly controversial video. I'm not going to do any videos like that next year. The video itself, I never really bashed Pickett because he had a higher completion percentage than all those guys. It was just all of his bad throws were getting picked off. I still wonder about can he reliably, when he doesn't have to, in like a 2-minute drill situation, can he throw more than 5 yards down the field? I still worry about that. But look, there are moments of brilliance. There are moments where he looks like a rookie. My opinion didn't really change in a negative sense or a positive sense, except for the fact that he's clutch. You should keep doing videos like that, even if they age poorly, they're topical and bring in nuances. That is true. They're just a pain to make in terms of copyright. It depends on the situation. I felt like I might have forced a few of them. I don't want to force any. I will say tomorrow's video is about the Jaguars-Titans game that's coming up on Saturday. I will say that. And it will be very, very interesting to see. Use still images. I hate the color filter. I figured out a way to get around it. If you notice, the color filter has not been on any of the vids for a while now. It's not been on the vids for a while. I figured out a way to make it work. Why no games were scheduled yesterday, New Year's Eve? The NFL wouldn't want to compete with that. Saturday games don't get great ratings necessarily. You have the college football playoff, and on top of that, you have people that are just doing stuff New Year's Eve. There's a reason that the NFL didn't play Sunday Night Football on New Year's Eve for a few years. You missed my comment about the 49ers giving me 3 heart attacks and 2 strokes in the ugly win today. That was a crazy game. Okay, I will say this. This is not dumb decisions worthy. It is not dumb decisions whatsoever. But it's just something I do want to talk about. And it didn't matter in the slightest because Robbie Gould missed the field goal going in. But the Raiders had 2 timeouts. If I'm the Raiders, and the Niners had one timeout, so they were going to let it run down to like 4 seconds and then call timeout and kick the field goal. If I'm the Raiders, why would you not call timeout with 7 seconds left? Honestly. Why would you not call timeout with 7 seconds? Here's why. Number one, they're not going to try and play to get any closer. They're not going to run a quick out play. They're at, what were they at when Gold missed the field goal? Like the 20-yard line? You're not going to try to play to get closer. You're not going to risk it. The risk reward is not worth it at all. Not with a guy like Gold, not in a dome, not in that distance. You're not doing it. Number two, let's say you let the Niners run the clock down to 4 seconds before they call the timeout and kick the field goal. That's the last kick of the game. That's the last kick of regulation. At least if you call timeout 7 seconds, they will kick the field goal with 7 seconds because they're not going to run another play. They're not going to run another play. Maybe they run a play just to spike it, or take a knee and then call timeout. Maybe they do that. Maybe they do that. But who knows? And at least then, if they kick the field goal with 7 seconds left, because you call the timeout, you get at least one shot. If they do make it, which I think we all thought Robbie Gould would, you get at least one shot to try a crazy kickoff play, or a Hail Mary, or something like that. I saw a guy say the Niners scored too early when Mason ran in with like 4 minutes. No, there's no such thing in a tie game as scoring too early when Jarrett Stidham is the quarterback on the other side, when your defense is that good, and you need to win. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. There should not be a Monday Night Football game Week 18. There's not. It's games on Saturday. Thoughts on the sudden J.J. Watt retirement? I'm not sure it was sudden. I don't think it was sudden. I mean, he's had a great career. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he wants to go on a high, relatively speaking. He doesn't want to go out while he's declining. Did the Rams score too early in Super Bowl 34? My Lions were actually not intending to make a playoff run after starting 1-6. They were only working out some kinks. It's funny with the Lions because I genuinely thought Dan Campbell was on the hot seat because he was not getting any better. He was not developing at all. He was still making the same mistakes, even worse than year one. He was awful with the clock. He was awful with some of his in-game decisions, awful with his timeout management. And all of a sudden, they're now 8-8. They're now doing really, really well. So, credit to the Lions. I'm rooting for them. I am a Packers stockholder, but I am rooting for the Lions on Sunday Night Football in Week 18. Which that will be the Sunday night game. I'd be shocked if they were not. The last final week Monday Night Football game was... It wasn't 05 because Jets-Patriots was not that was the final Monday Night Football game. That was the final week of the season. I think the last one might have been 01? Might have been 01. I'm not... And a shout out for Pizza Chew. I just saw the username. God bless. Do you think Brady will finally retire if he does not get another ring? I don't think so. You literally talked the snafu about Ron Rivera into existence with your video about Sam Weiss and his playoff scenario ignorance. I did do that, didn't I? I did do that. I should have saved that for today or tomorrow. I jumped the gun just a little bit. Amy Trask will get rid of Vrabel if the Titans mess up again next season. Oh, please. I hope they get rid of Vrabel. I hope so. I hope they get rid of Vrabel because he's a good coach. If they want to get rid of Vrabel, be my guest. Seriously, the fact that they are this competitive and this good with this many injuries, yeah. Yeah, if they want to get rid of Mike Vrabel, by all means, go right ahead. He will get picked up right away. The only reason I would even consider getting rid of Mike Vrabel is if you have a Bum Phillips. I cannot speak today. If you have a Bum Phillips-like situation where after the 1980 season, the Oilers were like, look, the offense is terrible. You need to hire an offensive coordinator. And Bum was like, no, I'm not hiring anyone. And they're like, okay, you're fired then. You're fired. If there's a situation where the Titans want to fire Todd Downing as the offensive coordinator, which they absolutely should, he's terrible, and Vrabel's like, no, he's my guy, then that's the only scenario I would consider getting rid of Vrabel. And yeah, Paul Topper, that's exactly what I was going for. Yeah, only way to get rid of Vrabel is he doesn't get rid of Downing. If you don't get rid of Downing, and Vrabel says it's me and Downing or it's no one, that's the only situation I could see. Other than that, no. Vrabel, how many coaches in football would be able to be in a win-in situation with this roster, with this many injuries? Last year they got the number 1 seed with the most injured team in football. This year, most injured team in football, and they're fighting for the division. I can't blame Vrabel at all. He's not making dumb decisions at all. What team do you think will have the biggest improvement next season from this one? I think it'll be the Bears. Bears are not a bad pick. I mean, Justin Fields, if he can stay healthy, you're going to give him weapons in the offseason. I could see him making the jump from year 2 to year 3. Won't be the Cardinals, because the situation's kind of a mess there. We don't know about Kyler. Broncos, it won't be, because I don't believe Russ has anything left anymore. Texans, maybe, depending on... It depends on if they get a new coach or what they do in the offseason and they get Bryce Young. Panthers could. Honestly, the Panthers, if they get a quarterback, they could. Especially if they keep Steve Wilkes. Do I think Tennessee... we asked that. What are your thoughts on the Hawks-Jets game? I think we saw today Mike White is not the guy. Do you remember 2006 when Green Bay vs. Chicago was the final Sunday night game, even though the Bears had nothing to play for, and the Packers needed like 9 things to go their way to make the playoffs? I think there's a video about that. Who I think wins tomorrow night? I'll take Buffalo. I'm not betting against Buffalo. I thought Bum got fired because he didn't report a player's drug use in the season. Was it really because of the OC non-hire? It was. The OC non-hire was what I've seen as the main reason. That was the reason it was reported. The reason that the owner gave. That was really the reason. Titans and Jags face off next week. Is it win and in for the winner? Winner goes in. Loser, if it's the Titans, is out. Loser, if it's the Jaguars, can still get in if the Jets beat the Dolphins, the Bills beat the Patriots, and the Browns beat the Steelers. Which is why I was really upset when Pickett made that touchdown throw, and they came all the way back, because that would not have needed to happen if the Steelers lost today. So, not too thrilled about that. Not going to lie. Not thrilled about that. But Jags still have a shot as a wild card. It's not a great shot, but it is a shot nonetheless. Titans, they have to win. Otherwise, they're out. With the Chiefs game Saturday, is it a hedge by the NFL that the Bengals will win Monday? I'm not sure if it's a hedge, because the Chiefs game, no matter what happens in the Buffalo game, the Chiefs are playing for something. The Chiefs can still play for the one. I think the concern, if I'm a fan of a team in the AFC that's a wild card possibility, Jaguars included in that, is that there could be a scenario now that KC is playing Saturday at 4:30, that the Bills-Patriots game means nothing to Buffalo, and they can rest their starters, and the Pats will take the spot on that. We have a $5 from Jova, thank you so much. If the Eagles and Niners end up with the same record, will the number 1 seed come down to point differential, or am I missing something? Let's see. So if they have the same record, let's see. Let's go to the tiebreakers. I haven't looked into the tiebreakers yet. So the first one's head-to-head, but that wouldn't apply. The second one would be conference record, which, let's see. They end up with the same... What would their conference record be? I'm looking at that right now. Conference Philly would be if they... The only way they could have the same record is if San Fran wins and Philly loses. But in that case, San Fran would be 10-2. Philly would be 8-4. So, no, San Fran gets the 1 in that case. Doesn't come down to point differential, comes down to conference record. Should the Packers win next week, would you see this as one of the biggest season turnarounds, or is there a previous season that beats it? One of the biggest... I don't know, only because we've seen the Packers do it before. We've seen this before with the Packers. I think the Lions this year would be a bigger, but obviously if the Packers win next week, the Lions would not make it. The Jaguars would be a bigger one at 2-6. The Jaguars in '96, 4-7 to 9-7. Bengals in 1970, they're going to be tough to beat. 1-6. I got to do a video on them at some point. 1-6 to 8-6 and winning. Why can CBS show NFC games? It's been that way for a decade now. It's been that way for a decade. Is there going to be a video of another case of trash talk on right a la not Lomas Brown, inspired by J. Alexander's talk about JJ and then shutting him down? There might be. There might be. I mean, I always like a good trash talk video. The Lomas Brown one was a Patreon request. So if you're in the top tier on Patreon, you get a video request every month. One a month. If you're in the top tier, you can get one on JG8 and a one on JG9. So that one was a Patreon request. And I've had that in my mind for a while, and I was like, look, if we can... Usually I do it in like the first 2 or 3 weeks of the month. I'm like, look, let's save it for the anniversary of the game, which I think was the right call. And the video came out then, so... But I'm always down for a trash talk video. The next month or so, it's pretty structured in terms of the videos. I don't know what exactly they're going to be on. But like next week will be stuff in wildcard round history. The week after that will be stuff in divisional round history, conference championship history, and then the weeks leading up to the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, we do some Super Bowl history videos and some of my favorite videos. Commercial videos. I love doing those last year. I know some people like them a lot. Some people a bit torn on them, but we do have some commercial videos lined up, hopefully ready to go, where I review some Super Bowl ads from the past. I love doing those videos. I really love doing those videos. This is my first stream I'm tuning into. I really enjoy your stuff. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Sweetness Jonesy. Thank you so much. Would I please make a video on one of the saddest decades in sports history, the 2010 New Orleans Saints? Is it really one of the saddest decades? Is it really? I mean, 2010 you won the Super Bowl, if that's what, unless you count that as 09. Heartbreaking, I would say, but saddest, I'm not sure about that. $5 from C2 Man, thank you so much. What do you think about the playoff chances for my beloved Seahawks? Like Bill James, I respect the work you put in on a regular basis. Thank you so much, C2 Man. Thank you so much for being a lifelong fan of the channel. Seahawks chances, I would say... Look, I just don't like betting against Green Bay at this point. I don't like betting against Aaron Rodgers this late in the season. They're playing some hot football right now. I don't like betting against them, so I think the chances are 30%? I'd say 30%. Yeah, 25, something around there, yeah. 90s Bengals were way sadder, even they weren't even competitive. 70s Jets is also in the running. 70s Jets were pretty bad. 70s New York sports were pretty bad, for the most part. 70s New York sports were rough. Let's see. The Jags are the new Texans in terms of the traditional Saturday 4:30 playoff game. It's crazy. We've never had the, under this format at least, we've never had it before. All our games were Sunday, the early Sunday game in 2017. Are the Texans the best 2-13-1 team in the NFL right now? Probably. Considering there's no one else. Why does my phone say it's Sunday games only? Because they didn't announce any times until today. Until just now. Can the Packers recreate their 2010 run? I will say this. The NFC is pretty weak right now. San Fran has a rookie quarterback. And the defense, as much as I love them, the last 2 weeks or so, they've not been playing great. Not been great lately. I was shocked today that they allowed 34 to Stidham. The Vikings, I think we all know about the Vikings. They're way in over their heads. Giants having a good year, but I don't see how they do it. Cowboys, inconsistent, not playing great football lately, just visually. Eagles, we don't know about the health of Jalen Hurts, and it really depends on him, but they've shown some weaknesses. I could see, yeah. And the Buccaneers, I'm not betting on Todd Bowles. I mean, bet on Brady, but I'm not betting on Todd Bowles. Not betting on him. Do the right thing in the playoffs? Absolutely not. So I would say I could see a scenario where the Packers do recreate their run. I could see a scenario where that happens. If the Texans are that good of a 2-13-1 team while drafting Bryce Young make them a threat in the AFC South in 2023, they still have a lot of holes. They don't have playmakers. They have no playmakers on their team. I mean, you saw today, if you saw the game, they did not have a single broken tackle. Bryce Young doesn't fix that. Doesn't fix that at all. He has no help around him. They're still in some major trouble. Brandon Cooks probably won't be back next year. Damian Pierce is very good, obviously. Love the guy, but he's not going to help a whole lot in terms of helping out the quarterback. They don't have anyone. What is targeting? Basically launching yourself and hitting the head of a defenseless player. Football move, you know it when you see it. Basically anything that's not in the natural motion of a catch. And reestablishing yourself in bounds, I guess just making it so that you stay, like, there's no real good way to describe reestablish. It's one of those things, again, you know it when you see it. It's one of those things where reestablishing yourself in bounds, can you get both feet in? If you're out of bounds, can you get both feet in and be in a natural position before? I guess that's the best way to describe it. Could do a video on the Fail Mary. I don't know what angle I would possibly take on that hasn't been done already. Plus, copyright would be an absolute pain on that one. How about that kick launching us into 2023? I was watching the game. I was flipping back and forth between the game and the ball drop, and I was on the game and had the previous button ready to go. And as soon as the kick was clearly no good, I flipped back and there were 2 seconds left on the ball drop. Crazy. Sell me on Sunday Ticket. I have YouTube TV, but I'm a Packers fan of Hawaii, so I get to see a lot of their games anyway. All right, here's how I'll sell you on Sunday Ticket. We have to see what it is with YouTube. We have to see what the deal is with YouTube. But here's how I'll sell you on. You get every single game, plus you get Red Zone, plus I don't know how if they're gonna crack down on streams now that everything's online. They might crack down on that in 2023. I mean, Sunday Ticket's great. Sunday Ticket, not like the concept, the execution with DirecTV, not great, obviously, but Sunday Ticket itself, like the idea of being able to watch on a market. Plus, I don't know how many Packers games you're gonna get, because remember, if Aaron Rodgers leaves, how attractive are they for TV ratings? If Aaron Rodgers, if this is it for him, I don't know if this will be, but if this is it, how attractive will they be? On top of that, remember that next year, CBS and Fox are not tied to any conferences. They're free agents. So they get to pick whatever games they want. So you could see some Packers games on Fox, see some on CBS, but because of how it works in terms of single headers, double headers, you might not get Packers games. It's going to be very, very different next year. Very, very different. Is there any way to justify picking Will over Stroud? No, there's no way. There's no way to justify it. There's no way to justify it. You pick Will over Stroud? Terrible. Oh, if Sunday Ticket is a single team deal, get that. Get that, for sure. Do you think Google may offer Sunday Ticket as a part of its package of one of its services, a la T-Mobile and NFL TV? I could say maybe. It really just depends on whether the NFL would allow it or not, because they're very restrictive. Because blackouts are still going to be a thing. There's still going to be some restrictions. Which game should have been flexed Sunday night? Jags, Titans, or Lions, Packers? Look, I'm a Jaguars fan, obviously, but I will admit Lions, Packers, for the average American, is probably the better game. Probably the better game. Yeah, and then Fail Mary, I've nothing to add on Fail Mary that hasn't been said already. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are the odds of the Patriots getting in the playoffs? It depends on the Kansas City game and the Buffalo-Cincy game. If Buffalo is playing for nothing, 85%. If Buffalo is playing for something, 20%. Any predictions for the Saturday games? Chiefs by 7, let's say. And, oh man, I'm scared. I'm scared, but Jaguars by 4. The Jags by 4, Chiefs by 7. I'm very scared, obviously. This will be one of the longest weeks of my life. The week between the divisional round and the conference championship was very long. This will be up there. Jags ownership demand a refund from Urban Meyer, worst coach ever. You can say that again. Let's see. Do I ever see the Lightning hosting an outdoor game at Raymond James Stadium? It depends. Could the rink handle the conditions? Because Tampa's pretty warm. I'm not sure the rink could handle that. Thoughts of the semifinals? Best pair of semifinals ever. Best pair ever. Michigan, I thought Harbaugh coached a horrible game. I thought the officiating was terrible all the way around. Georgia, Stetson Bennett. I don't know what his pro future holds, but he's a clutch QB. Have I thought about doing a video on Mike Holmgren is so fed up with his returners in 1997 that in the playoffs he had Freeman and Brooks handle returns? I've thought about that. I've thought about that. I might do something on that. I have thought about that. Channel resolutions for this year. That's a good question. Channel resolutions. I don't like doing stuff that's out of my control. So like sub count is not really in my control. Sub count, stuff like that, I don't really want to worry about that. I guess channel resolutions, number one, be able to continue to do this full time. Again, I'm taking a giant leap of faith here. I'm taking a giant leap of faith trying to do this full time. The past 2 years, I've been balancing this with law school, and it's been tough. It's been tough, and now I can devote all my energy and resources to just doing this full time. I've gotten way more sleep. Yes, I've actually gotten a bit of a schedule, which is nice, which is really, really nice. But again, it's not a guarantee. YouTube is very fickle, and you just need one decision by Google or YouTube to shut it all down. So the goal is to be able to be stable after 1 year. Have a stable channel where I don't have to worry about this. I don't know why I'm necessarily worrying, because you guys do a great job supporting me and everything. I really shouldn't have any reason to worry, but you never know. You never know. This is a leap of faith. I've never done this before. In terms of other resolutions, I want to do more shorts. I do want to do more shorts. I didn't do shorts before just because I didn't like the fact that there were some studies that said shorts actually hurt you long term. They don't do anything for you. You can't really get any money off of them, which you don't get money off shorts really, but it's more than I thought. It's about 20 cents per 1,000 views on shorts, but but that's because YouTube is devoting more into shorts. I have I saw shorts with 5 million views, and they made $3. So there was no point to doing that. And on top of that, I like the fact that you can look on the channel and you just see thumbnails, design thumbnails. There's consistency. Shorts, you can't do that. But then YouTube added something where you can have a shorts tab. So all the shorts go in their own tab, so they're not blended in with the videos. At that moment, I was like, you know what? Let's do that. So I want to do more shorts. I guess my resolution is 100 shorts this year. I want to do at least 100 shorts, where I take the videos and I just do shorts on them, and then the shorts redirect you to the long form video. That's what I've been doing. If you saw the shorts, they come around at 4:00 Eastern. If you saw that today, that's exactly what I did. In terms of other resolutions, I guess, for the channel, I guess just grow the baseball channel. Again, there is a baseball channel. I know a lot of you are really happy about that. And JG7, starting February 15th, I want to say, whatever that Tuesday is, we will start that. Maybe add more people to the team. Maybe expand the team. I already have an editor for baseball and an editor for JG8 to help out with that. So But I could still use more. I could still use more. I will say that. I could still use more. Because I want to just pump out as much content as I possibly can. So. And then my goal is or resolution, I guess, improve the audio quality, the technical aspects, and that'll help a lot with the studio. MLB team, Cardinals fan, and D-backs fan. Good resolution. I found a lot of YouTubers I follow now from seeing their shorts. Yes, so yeah, shorts I think now are more beneficial than they were before because they have their own tab on YouTube. They're way easier to upload. That was the whole point behind 60-second NFL history. That was the whole point behind it. But I abandoned that for the college channel simply because shorts just weren't the thing at the time. And now, what is that? I wish the D-backs would bring back green and purple. I mean, those are unique colors. Red and black, not really unique. Are you doing a hiring call? If you want to reach out to me, by all means, we can talk. Payment structure, basically you get a percentage of whatever the video makes. Whatever the video makes, you get a percentage. It's a high percentage. It's a fairly high percentage. But that's the structure I have with my two editors for JG8 and for that. I couldn't watch the end of this week's video from 96. I feel the Jags have the same vibe from 96, first time in the playoffs. Yeah, I see that. I could see that. Look, 96, 4-7, 9-7. No one saw it coming. Same thing this year. Yeah, Pearson has changed the culture, yes. I have a full-time job, but I could do part-time on try. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to get into like specifics in terms of hiring, but the thing would it's you make a percentage of the video, so it's not really a full-time thing. I send over a script, I send the audio, and then you just compile the clips and put it together. Yeah, just if you use my email address, if you go to my email address and just send me something. Because the goal eventually is with all my channels, besides JG9, although maybe JG9 at some point, the goal eventually is just write script, record audio, and the editing is the hard part. The editing is the really hard part. And then just offload all that. JG 39.6 channel for just bad QB performances. If I make a soccer channel, would it be Jaguar 10, Jaguar FC? Probably JG 10. Probably JG 10. Yeah, soccer. I will say I had to use the filter for soccer on the Mali Tunisia game. I had to use the filter for that. So soccer's brutal with copyright. Why did the Oilers move? Your Name Treats did a very good video on that. It's a very good 20-minute watch if you have time. It's very, very good. When's the last time a score of 4 was in an NFL game? Probably not since World War II. It's probably been a while. Do I think the Jags can beat the Ravens if that's their wild game? I don't see why not. I mean, we beat them before. I don't see why we can't beat them again. Oh, thank you for the follow, Stuart McPheron. Thank you so much for the follow. Also, in terms of what's on the agenda, I should say that. We still have plenty of time, but in terms of what's on the agenda, tomorrow video, 9 a.m. Eastern, something Jaguars related. So that should be fun. 4 o'clock, we'll have a short come out. Hopefully 6 o'clock Monday, we will have a JG8 video. No promises there. I'm hoping we can get one out. If not, worst case scenario, we get it out Tuesday. Yeah, JG99 for hockey is not terrible. What's the QB rating if you do nothing but spike the ball into the ground every play? 39.6. Oh, 1926 was the first time. I did not know that. Okay. So then we had a 4. Stidham is him. I would not go that far. He had a good game, obviously, today, but we saw him play at Auburn. We saw him play with the Pats. I would not say he's him just yet. I would not say. Do you think the 2022 World Cup final was the best soccer game of all time? I don't follow soccer much, but after that game, I'm going to watch. I mean, that's great they're getting into the sport. It's a fun sport to watch. Was it the greatest game of all time? Greatest World Cup final ever. Greatest World Cup final ever. It's the greatest game of all time. I don't want to say this was the greatest game ever. But in terms of entertainment value, the MLS Cup was a better game from 0 to 120 minutes. The greatest World Cup final ever? Absolutely, absolutely. Am I excited for new Jags uniforms this offseason? I don't think they're getting them. I don't think... John Ogier said we're not getting new unis. I kind of don't want new unis right now just because I'm scared we'd mess it up, because you can only change every 5 years. I'm very scared we would mess it up. I'm trying to get through all the questions. I'm trying to get through every question, and I'm like way, way, way far behind. I discovered this channel about 6 months ago. Like the dynamic and knowledge of football from previous decades. I may be one of the few foreigners subbed in this channel, but I enjoy the content. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What are the prospects for a video on the 78 World Series not airing in Las Vegas? I did not know that. That is definitely on the list now. Anything good broadcasting-wise? Yes. What uniform combo do I want to wear for future games? I'm not going to say playoff game because we haven't clinched the spot. Teal unis, black pants. I think teal and teal does not look that good, but teal and black, yes. The JG L&O for strange legal stories. I think you have Legal Eagle for that. Your Malik Willis video has aged pretty well, though. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Why did I pick 9 for the channel? Lucky number. Lucky number. I've had that number for a while. Lucky number. Mike Breen should call an NFL game. He's great at whatever he does. Has my opinion on whether or not Dennis Allen should be fired changed? I mean, I don't think they will fire him. I don't think he's the guy. But I have to give him credit for turning things around to some extent. But I don't think he's the guy. Do you hear about the time the Steelers could possibly have won their conference with 8 wins over the Giants with 10 because of some super tie game rule mistakes? People in Buffalo being upset about the original choice of NFL game, they ended up changing it. Did not hear that one. Did not hear that one. How many fights will the Jags-Titans game have next week? In terms of fans or play? I mean, Jags don't really get into fights. And the fans don't really get into fights. It's gonna be physical, but I don't think fights. I don't think anything crazy. What's my take on the Bears? I like Fields. I don't like the core around him. I'm not huge on Eberflus. Not huge on him. Can you send a link to the JG7 page on YouTube? I can. Again, there's nothing on there right now. It is literally just a logo and a banner, and nothing will be on there for a month. But if you do want to see, be among the first to sub to JG7. Let me send the channel link over. Oh, you can't even find... Wow. Oh, you can't even find it on a... Because I guess there's no videos or anything. So it doesn't even pop up on the search. But here's the link if anyone wants to see. But again, I will advertise this channel way more as we get closer. Obviously, this is kind of the rollout I did for JG8. Everything not doing a video on the Georgia Tech Cumberland College game, the 222-0. John Boys did a good video on that. SB Nation did a good video on that. I can't add anything that they didn't go over. It's tough to... Yeah, there's nothing on JG7. I guess YouTube doesn't publicize anything without videos yet. We have a $5 from... Who is that? John Falcetta. Thank you so much. Love your content as a Bears fan. We're looking forward to free agency. Have a ton of cap space and need a right tackle. How good is Juwan Taylor? Thanks. Keep your hands off him. Keep your hands off of him. I love Juwan Taylor. He was not good the past few seasons, but this year he has been phenomenal. He's been one of the best linemen on the team. I don't know if we re-sign him just because I don't know if we have the money to, because we gave the money to Cam Robinson, but if we can, I'd rather dump Cam, put Walker Little left tackle, keep Juwan at right tackle. I do not want to get rid of Juwan Taylor. He's been very good. If he does hit free agency, there's going to be a bidding war for him for sure. Like Bills fans see... Okay, let me see. Oh, this happened recently. Oh, wow, this happened recently. They didn't have Dolphins Pats the game before. They had Colts That makes no sense. I guess my logic is the CBS affiliate. My logic is that, because this sometimes happens, the CBS affiliate saw an opportunity to broadcast the Giants, which they never really get the chance to do, and they jumped on it without thinking about the fact that this is not a good game. That's my guess. Because that happened in '97 with the Jaguars and the Buccaneers. It happened in Orlando where the I think the Fox affiliate got a chance to. Or no, I'm trying to remember which one it was. There was one affiliate that got the opportunity to show a game that wasn't in. It was the NBC affiliate. No, it was the NBC affiliate. It was the NBC affiliate, and they got a chance to. Right? That's. I forget what it was, but I think it was Wish TV. I think it was Wish. Let me pull up the story. I don't want to misremember this, but there was something in '97 with the Jaguars. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Why did Idaho go down to FCS? I think part of it was that conference-wise there was no good fit. Because they were playing the Sun Belt, and that was just a lot of travel. What game? Oh. Alright, let me find the article. Oh man, this is killing me because I know this happened. Was it? It might have been '98. It might not have been '97. It might have been '98. Let me check. Yeah, I will look up. I will look up what it was. We have a $5 from Chuck Yank. Thank you so much. Should the playoffs be reformatted? It is ridiculous that a 13-4 Cowboys team could travel to Tampa for the wild card round. I don't think they should be. I think there should be something for winning your division. I don't think they should be reformatted. I like how it is right now. All right. This is killing me in terms of not being able to find this story. All right. Was it here? Okay, let me check. I think I've got something. I think I got something. Well, the stream sometimes gets choppy when that happens. Okay. So here was the situation. WESH Channel 2, NBC affiliate in Orlando. They were playing a sold-out home game against an AFC team, the Patriots. They got the opportunity to so it was the inverse. They got the chance to televise the Bucs because the game got sold out, and they chose the Jaguars because I guess they didn't think that there were Bucs fans in the area, and they didn't think that the Bucs game was going to sell out. And then they reversed 24 hours later. They said, yeah, we made a mistake. So, I might do a video on that at some point. Would I ever do a video on Playmakers showing ESPN did in the NFL, forcing them to cancel it? I've thought about doing that. Oh, Playmakers documentary? Yeah. Just take a while, because it would be a lot. Why did the NFL stop having Monday night games the last week of the season a few years ago? Because they were pretty... Most of the time, they didn't mean anything. Yeah, you got some rare exceptions. You got Dolphins Cowboys 84. You got Bengals Vikings 89. You got games that meant something. But then you had games like Falcons Niners 99. You had the Ravens one year in the game that meant nothing. Just terrible. Plus, now that you have these games that take place Saturday and Sunday for the playoffs, you can't really, it's tough. Short week and everything. Oh yes, TV controversies still happen. They're just not as big because at least you have options. You have options at least. Like, it's not as big of a deal. You can go to a bar. You can find a stream. You can do something, so it's not as big of a deal as it was in the 70s, where you were really out of luck. But they're bad. When did Week 17 or 18 become all divisional matchups? 2010 was the first year. Because 2009, the Jets got into the playoffs after they were 7-7 because they beat the Bengals backups and the Colts backups. Because they were playing for nothing. And the NFL was like, okay, we can't have this happen anymore, so we're just going to do division games. Here's a crazy sports announcer crossover. In the mid-'80s, Channel 4 covered baseball's World Series for the UK, anchoring for the Super Bowl. Martin Tyler? Really? Oh, I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that. Yeah, 0-2 was the last season with Monday Night Game. Okay. Have the Packers been winning in spite of Rodgers? No. Rodgers is playing great. Why is it that before 9/11, sometimes they didn't have a bye between the conference championship and the Super Bowl, and other times they did? All right, so I can answer for for Super Bowl 27. No, not 27, 28. Right? Yeah, 28, 93. Because they had 2 bye weeks. 18-week season, that's why. 99, they started the season a week later because they didn't want to interfere with Y2K. So that's why. I don't know a good answer for why they didn't have for Super Bowl 25. I don't have a good answer for that. Super Bowl 17, I can say because of the strike. That's why. But I think it's happened 4 times before 9/11. And I don't know why it didn't have for Super Bowl 25. So if anyone knows the answer, leave it in the comments below, because I genuinely, off the top of my head, I don't know. I know the other 3. I don't know that. Well, that was the first week with a bye, so maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. The Seahawks have any chance, or is it truly between the Lions and the Packers? They have a chance. They just have to win. The Lions have to win. It's not great, but it's a chance. Justin Jefferson deactivated his Twitter. I did not see that. All right, I am so far behind on the comments. I'm trying to get all the way. Have I thought about doing a JG8 video about Florida A&M trying to move up to FBS? I've thought about a lot of realignment videos like that. What would I do if Texans Colts is a Sunday night game? I would wonder if I'm still living on this planet. I would wonder if the people are sane. This year's Packers wide receivers are nowhere near as good as the wide receivers from 2010. That is true. I mean, the 2010 group was the best, maybe the best receiving unit of all time. There's no one on this team besides Watson. Maybe Lazard for his blocking. But besides Watson, there's no one on this team that even makes the roster in 2010. Is there any NFL lost media you would like to see uncovered? Have you heard the story of Saints Bengals 1978? If that ever gets uncovered, I will be first in line to pick that up. What team has the best chance of beating the Niners in the wild card? So I would say. So we're looking at what, the Cowboys? No, because the Cowboys, the Niners, the Cowboys will be at 5 if they don't win the division. So it's really the Giants, Packers, Lions, or Seahawks. That's really what it comes down to. In that case, I would say the Packers, but although then again, Giants' defense is good, and they can run the ball at least. You need to be able to run the ball against San Fran. I'm not sure that when it matters most, the Packers can run the ball. So maybe the Giants. Honestly, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to say the Giants. We have the best chance. Why are mid-2000s video from the NFL so bad? Because it wasn't really on film, but it wasn't HD. It was a weird transition year, or period. We were recording stuff straight off VHS, but there's no HD, but it's bizarre. It's bizarre. We'll do a video on the Delta Dome in Portland. I don't know what the Delta Dome... I'm looking that up right now. A proposed indoor sports venue in Portland from 1963. I did not know about this. That seems right off 5-Point Vid's alley. Will NFL Plus replace Sunday Ticket if DirecTV loses its monopoly? No. NFL Plus is a scam. NFL Plus, you get nothing. It's just NFL Game Pass renamed. It won't replace it in the slightest bit. I hope it doesn't, because the player is terrible. The player is absolutely terrible. If Texans Colts was Sunday night, every NBC affiliate in the U.S. should band together, sell off the rights, and air the bingo along Traveling All-Stars. Motor Kings instead. Oh, man. That was a fun video. So we could get throughout the season over 5 or 6 games of the Packers on CBS. Yes, you could. Yep. The Raiders got invaded by away fans today, but no one is talking about it because it wasn't at SoFi. I mean, to be fair, the Raiders weren't really playing for anything. Niners fans travel well. It's also New Year's in Vegas, so it's a pretty easy sell for people to travel. I mean, stadiums get invaded by away fans all the time. I think the reason people talked about with SoFi was because it was a playoff game and the first game after they won the Super Bowl. But a random regular season game, it happens all the time. Do I see a full-time team in Europe in the next 15 years? I could see something in Germany. Honestly, the Germany experiment has gone really well. I could see something in Germany. Probably you probably have to put a few teams in Europe. Probably have to do like 4 teams in Europe. So you have to go London and then 2 spots in Germany and then find somewhere else, which might be tough. But we know the NFL in Germany can absolutely work. Will game selection be like a draft? I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how exactly it's going to work. I hope it's a draft and they televise it. Any thoughts on the Vikings getting beat horrifically earlier? If there's any team in the NFC I would want to play more than anyone else, it's the Vikings. If the Jags and Titans both make the playoffs, that would be cursed. Yes, it would be. And there is a scenario where it could happen. Thoughts on Cristiano Ronaldo to the Saudi League? Oh, man. What a downfall. What a downfall. How bad his ego is that not a single team in the Big Five or playing Champions League wanted him. That's sad. That is sad. I think we can put the Messi Ronaldo debate to end now. After this last month, I think we can put it to end. If the NFL plays a game in Australia, what time would it start? What is it, a 14-hour time difference? 14 hours, I want to say, from East Coast? Let me check. Right now in Sydney, Australia, it is... Oh, it's 16 hours. It's 4:46 p.m. in Sydney. So, we're playing a game in Australia. You probably would do it on a Saturday night. You could do it... Yeah, you could do it. You could do it on a Sun... Let me think. 14-hour difference. 14-hour difference. You could play the game at like 4 o'clock on a Sunday, and it's happening at 8 o'clock. No, that's... What am I doing? That's 28-hour difference. 5 hours from Scorpion. Where do you think the Jags go with their first pick in the draft? Probably slot corner. Need a guy to replace Trey Herndon. What time would you play a game in Australia? Let's think logistically here. It's a 16-hour time difference. 16-hour time difference. So if you played at 9 o'clock at night here, it'd be 1 o'clock in the afternoon there. So you could do that. You do it on you could do it like a Friday night that's after the sport broadcasting after 1961 doesn't apply. So what is that? The second week in December? I think that's the second week of December. So I would say probably that. You start it at 9 o'clock on the East Coast, and it starts at 1 o'clock in Sydney on Saturday afternoon. Or vice versa, you play the game 9 o'clock Saturday night, and it starts 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Australia. NFL Australia games will have to inaugurate with the Rams or the Chargers. I mean, they tried Broncos-Chargers back in '99 in Sydney. It wasn't really a huge success. I can't find video on it. Otherwise, I'd do a video, but it wasn't a huge success. Let's see. Amazing stream. Love the way you do your videos. Keep up the amazing work you're doing because you taught me a lot about the NFL. Thank you so much. I love reading comments like that. Thank you so much. Is my TikTok still active? I mean, technically, but I don't really use it anymore. No, TikTok is not really active. I've not used TikTok since, I think, 2 years ago. YouTube Shorts are the way to go. YouTube Shorts are the way. I think another reason why the 2022 World Cup Final was so amazing was because the world needed a game like that after dealing with a global pandemic for almost 3 years. I don't even think that had anything to do with it. I think it was just a great game. Yeah, TikTok is not useful. Yeah. Because the problem with TikTok is that I would use that like I'm using YouTube Shorts right now. I would use it as a way to funnel guys over to the long-form channel. Because you can't make money on TikTok. You can't do anything like that. But there's so many extra transactions. They have to get the people to see the video, be intrigued enough to then log off of TikTok, which is not easy to do. It's very addicting. Log on that, and then remember what they had to log on to YouTube for, because you can't use links. Versus YouTube Shorts, where it's just, okay, you click the card. Shorts are, even with all notifications turned on, subs won't likely see them. Yeah, I don't really care if the subs necessarily see them because they get the video at 9 a.m., the long-form video. So the shorts are just a 60-second version of that video that don't reveal everything. They just reveal basic stuff just to try and get you to watch the long-form video. So really, it's you watch the video at 9 o'clock, and if you didn't see that video, okay, here's a short that's popping up in your feed. Oh, you might be able to get an opportunity for more views. Plus, the shorts, you usually get the spike burst in terms of the views right away. Usually happens right away. So you get people that have never seen your stuff before. Like, you get more than 60 seconds on a short in terms of, or 60 minutes on a short, view-wise, than you do long-form video. So it's a bigger audience. Do the Jags may retire numbers? Yes, Baselli is officially retired, 71. Do you think a movie about the 07-08 season and Super Bowl would be better from the Giants or the Patriots' perspective? Probably the Pats. Honestly, probably the Patriots' perspective. That's a good question. But because the Giants' perspective, I don't know what the angle is. I don't know what the angle is. Other than David versus Goliath. But, I mean, the first 3 months were pretty lackluster. You can't even do like a miracle where you have the U.S. play Soviet Union in an exhibition game and the U.S. gets blown out. You can't do that because they played in Week 17 and it wasn't a blowout. It was a very good, very close game. It was a very close game. The only way you could do any video or any movie on the 07 Giants that's any interesting is if you rewrite history so they get blown out like 59-0 in Week 17. That's the only way. Otherwise, it just wouldn't be as good. It'd be, okay, here's this team. Nothing really happened the first 3 months. Oh, they played the team they're going to play in the Super Bowl, and they almost won. So it's not really a huge upset without like the context and whatnot. So you can't really do it like that. YouTube a good career path. I don't see this platform going anywhere potentially in the rest of our lifetime. There might be a competitor in the future, but YouTube seems like a stable career. Yeah, I mean, it's really just about the nice thing about what I do. And thank you so much for the $2 Joe. I'll get to your question after I get to this one. Thank you so much. The thing with what I do, which is nice, is that there are a lot of people that are gaming channels, and a lot of it rides on the popularity and the success of the game itself. I can safely say the NFL is never going away. There will always be an audience for the NFL. There will always be an audience for the NFL. So I have that at least, which is good. So I don't want to say it's a stable career necessarily, but the topic at least that I'm talking about, there's always going to be interest in. And it also helps that people might not necessarily be coming for me. They're coming for the story. They're coming for the actual historical event that takes place. Versus personality-based channels where they come for the person, but then they might get bored of them. That's where sports channels have an edge in that regard. So will the Cardinals be seeking revenge against my 49ers? I mean, they'll be seeking revenge. I don't think they'll get it. With what offense? With Kingsbury as a lame duck at this point. The Niners playing for the 1 seed. I don't see them getting revenge, but they'll come for it, I guess. Big A's fan, tragically it hurts. That stinks. That stinks. The D-backs teal numbers unis are hideous. I mean, at least they're unique. They're so 90s, but I like it. Punt return touchdowns have been rare this season. Yes, they have. I think there's been, 2 all season? Hasn't been a lot. Kingsbury and McVay on the chopping block. Okay, Kingsbury, yes. McVay is on the chopping block. McVay is, if he wants to retire, he might step away. He's not walking away. He's not getting fired. I could see him walking away, but he's not getting fired. Who would be the 7th seed in the NFC? My money is on Green Bay. It's on Green Bay. I want to see a video of the 93 Monday Night Football intro because it was the year that they didn't use Hank Williams and instead they used different singers like Amy Grant for Saints and Niners. Huh. I don't remember that or know about that. I'll have to check it out. Does the copyright for soccer vary by league? I guess. I mean, being sports pretty strict. FIFA itself is pretty strict. I guess MLS probably wouldn't be too strict. MLS probably would not be too strict. Will we ever see another player where 00 and 0? I think they're banned now. Aiden Hutchinson going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year? No. He's having a good year. I don't see how you don't give it to Sauce. I don't see how you give it to anyone but Sauce or Tariq. But I go Sauce. Do I think the Rams rebrand in 2025? I don't think they're rebranding under Kroenke anytime soon. I've wondered since the Jaguars have had an interesting uniform history, which uni set is your favorite? The first set. The first one was the best. The first set. I like this set more than I like the set from 2013. I like this set more than I like the set from 09. But, yeah, the first one was the best. Does Geno Smith still deserve Comeback Player of the Year honors? I would still give it to him. Last time an NFL team ended a game with a score of 2. I don't know if it was the last time, but the Jaguars in 2013, they played the Chiefs, week 1. Do a video on the 1-point safety rule. That would be an interesting one. We all know JG and I want the lawsuit logo if the Jags do. Oh, I would love that. If I'm the owner of the Jags, the first thing I'm doing if I ever become owner is putting Maurice Jones-Drew in the pride. But the second thing I'm doing is working out a deal with Jaguar to try and get the lawsuit logo and try to get at least 1 game a year where we can do that. So yeah, Super Bowl with non-division winners before, just only non-division winners. I don't think we have. I don't think we've ever had a 2 wildcard Super Bowl. I could be wrong, but I don't think. Yeah, playoffs, or Falcons had 2 in a playoff game. Jags ended with 2 in a playoff game at one point. In 1932 with the rule with the ties. Do the Cowboys have the fewest uniform changes among NFL teams? Probably. They haven't changed since the 60s. They had the 90s. They had those weird unis in the 90s at points. Yeah, Texans never changed. I guess they will. I think if I'm the Texans, I would go all orange. Honestly, orange and blue. I would go orange and blue. For me, at least, I associate orange with Houston. The Dynamo, the Dash, the Astros, the Rockets had a shade of orange, I guess, for their old logo. You can claim that like you claimed, like Pittsburgh claimed black and yellow. We already have 20 subs on JG7. I just name dropped that. And we already have 20 subs. So that's incredible. Thank you so much. Holy cow. Haven't been any videos on that. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's see. Jags going to go to the Super Bowl. I would love it. Not this year. So I think it's odd that the Cowboys play almost every game in white. No, it's kind of a tradition. ASU Sun Devil Stadium is a dump. I want to go that far. It's easy to access. It's right on the light rail. I mean, I will say the lines are very long for concessions. They have not figured that out. But there's not really a bad seat on the house. I mean, it's fine for what it is. It's fine. How come teams like Jackson State and Sam Houston State move up to... Jackson State didn't move up to FBS. But North Dakota State, first off, I'm not sure if they would want to move up to FBS, North Dakota State. They have a good thing going in FCS. And just you think budgetary purposes. Yes, football, it would make sense, but you think of the other sports. You move up to something like the Mountain West. That's a lot more travel than where you are right now. It's a lot more travel. How many points do I need to take TCU in the national championship? $17. Name every team that will only get one primetime game next year. Texans? Texans. The Panthers. The Falcons. And I think that's it. I think those three get one. And everyone else gets at least more than one. Will the Jets finally get a Sunday night game? No. Unless it gets flexed. They're not getting a Sunday night game next year. And the Jags, last time they were on Sunday Night Football was 08. Yes, that was the last time. Jaguars, it's up in the air. Jaguars, I think, if they make the playoffs, they will get... I think Jags-Bengals will be a Sunday night game. Will be a primetime game next year, just as a matter of when. But I think it could be a Sunday night game. Colts will get multiple. They'll go two, probably. They like going to Indy no matter how bad they are. Browns, Bears will not get one. Bears will get a lot because they're the Chicago market. I hate it, but it will. Bucks will get more than one, even if Brady leaves. The Browns, people want to watch them. They'll get more than one. You know, Jackson State is moving to FBS. FBS should get Harvard and Yale back. It will never happen. Ivy League was Division 1A, then they dropped down to... They got reclassified to 1AA. They don't play postseason football. No, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. Do you think the NFL expands the playoffs to 8 teams at any point? No. I hope they don't. They tried that in '82. It was a disaster. There's no incentive for being the 1 seed. I hate if they go to 8. I hate it. I would absolutely hate it. The only way, and I don't think it's ever going to happen. The only way I would ever go 8 is if you got the 1 and the 2 seed got double buys. So it's 5 plays 8, 6 plays 7. Then the winner of 5-8 plays 4. The winner of 6-7 plays 3. And then you do that round. So it's a wildcard round, a second wildcard round, a divisional round conference. I would hate that, and I think the players would be up in arms about having a double bye. But if you're going to do it, that's the only way I would ever consider saying, you know what, we can go 8. I think going to 8 is terrible. Let's see. Go back to 2 wildcards. I like the 17 system. I do like the 17 system. I like the fact that the 1 seed gets an incentive. Also, you have to remember that when they went to 2 wildcards, or really 3 back then because it was East, Central, West. 1990, when they had it, there were 12 teams that made it out of 28. And now it's 14 out of 32. It really just matches up with how the league has expanded since then. It really just matches up with that. The percentage is exactly the same as it was in 1990. Last time the Jets were on Sunday Football, I think it was Week 1, 2011. I think it was the game against the Cowboys. The Cardinals are an easy team to like. Yes. Yes. I am a Cardinals fan. Very easy team to like in terms of the talent on that team, the way they go about their business. Sam Boyd Stadium was terrible. No debate there. No denying that. Sam Boyd Stadium went to USA Sevens there. I mean, that's not a great stadium. As a Jags fan, how would I react if the team moved to London? I'd be upset. It's not going to happen. Let's see. Were the Jags going to be an NFC team? Yes, they actually were. So, I might do a video on this, although I can't really find any good articles. But I went to a store, a $10 sports store, back in college, and I found a Super Bowl 29 helmet in its original box. So this is like 1994. Got a box. And I bought the helmet because just finding a mini helmet for $10, Super Bowl 29, yeah, of course you're getting that. And I looked at the back of the box, and it said, collect the helmets for every team. And it had the Jaguars in the NFC West, and the Panthers in the AFC Central. So, there was at least at one point discussion that the Jags would be an NFC team if it was on the box. Yeah, I did hear that Sporting KC was trying to get Ronaldo, too. I don't know how that would have worked with their manager. I don't know how that would have worked. Do I have anything planned on the greatest show on turf, Rams? I did one on Joe Germain, to an extent, and how that kind of sparked the dynasty of the greatest show on turf. Do I have anything else? I'm not sure. 99 Rams, for whatever reason, are very tough copyright-wise. Very, very tough copyright-wise. Next team to leave their city, it's not a knock on them by any means. I want to make that very clear. This is not a knock on them by any means, or their fan base, or anything like that. But if I had to guess, I would say the Bengals. If any team is going to leave, it's going to be the Bengals. And the reason why is because they got famously screwed over on their stadium deal when they built Paul Brown Stadium, now Acrisure Stadium. Or, no, Acrisure is Pittsburgh. Paycor Stadium. They got screwed over on that deal. If the Bengals want a new stadium, Cincinnati's going to play hardball. They're not going to get burnt like they did last time. And I could see a city swooping in. And if the Chargers go back to San Diego, no. Where are you playing? Snapdragon? It's not big enough. You go to SoFi for the the LA media market for the exposure. The stadium is beautiful. They're not going back to San Diego. Because the Steelers make the playoffs. I could see it. Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why not. Bills have to win against the Patriots. That could happen. Jets beat the Dolphins. I could see that. Dolphins are on their third string quarterback. Where would they relocate? Oh yeah, it is expandable. I forgot about that. It is. I just don't think they're gonna do it. Where would they relocate? It's not really where I think they should relocate, because I don't want them to relocate. I don't think they should. It's just they played hardball on the they didn't do they got screwed over on the stadium deal. So I don't think they're gonna try and get screwed over again. If Spanos wasn't the owner, could I see it happening then? I don't think so. I guess what city needs a team, but I guess if the Bengals were gonna move for whatever reason, maybe a second team in Chicago. I don't know. Maybe a second team in Chicago. Maybe St. Louis again. Second team in Chicago if the Bears go to the Burbs. You have a team in downtown, team in the Burbs, maybe. Australia, too late for buys. I mean, they had buys in week, this year? 14, 15? Had late bye weeks. There were talks of the Bills moving, but now they have they're getting a new stadium. So that won't be a problem. That will not be a problem. Why isn't Hawaii using Aloha Stadium? It is, it doesn't exist anymore. Torn down. Or gonna be torn down at least. It's a giant auction that happened that we did on stream a while ago. Would I ever do a video on the Pats moving to St. Louis and becoming the Stallions? I've thought about that, yeah. Some relocation stuff. Patriots moving to Jacksonville. I mean, I did the Eagles-Phoenix video. More stuff like that I could. I doubt the NFL wants to add a second team to Chicago. Right, I'm just spitting hypotheticals. Plus the Bears, I'm not sure where they allow it. Do two-team cities help or hurt the league? It depends on the TV market. Depends on the TV market. Sometimes having two teams in a city is a blessing, and sometimes it's a curse, because you don't get to see great games a lot of time. The ratings for football in LA were better when the Rams and Chargers weren't there because they got the best games. And now they're stuck with Rams and Chargers no matter what. Could Hawaii go to the Pac-12? No chance. No chance. They will not go Pac-12. San Diego State could see, Boise State could see, Hawaii, no way. No way. UNLV, maybe. What NFL team deserves a movie? I would love to see... I want to see Urban Meyer and the Jaguars in a movie. I would love to see the Urban Meyer debacle in a movie. In terms of like what team deserves a movie, besides that, in terms of the good sense. Oh, we have a $10 from a smoke break. Thank you so much. Elliot, glad to make another stream. So Saints are looking to only really have a mid-second round pick. Should we still go QB? And if so, who drops there, or hope for a first rounder for Sean Payton? I think you hope for a first rounder for Sean Payton. I would not go for a second round QB. I would see if you can get a first rounder for Sean Payton. Because the problem with drafting a day 2 quarterback is they kind of have to play right away, and they're kind of the guy, but they're kind of not the guy, so you just waste a pick on them, because if they're not the guy, then you move on after a year. It's a very complex thing. It's why I didn't agree with the Davis Mills pick. It's why a lot of these day 2 quarterback picks for teams that need a quarterback, I'm not crazy about for that exact reason. Because they're kind of in that limbo where they have to play right away, but they're not the guy. I wouldn't waste a pick. You got too many needs. Especially at receiver, you got way too many needs. I would see if you can get a first-round pick and then do that. But what team deserves a movie? I would say 96 Jags could be very good, very interesting. 96 Jaguars, expansion team kind of, 4-7 and 9-7. 05 Saints, also everything that they went through. 95 Browns, to an extent, could be very good for similar reasons, finding out they're moving in the middle of the season. Could see a team moving to a city like Dublin or London. I don't think a team's going to move there. I could see them putting a team in London, but Dublin probably not. You should do a video on the Sports Broadcasting Act. I actually have a script that is in the works that I just never got around to finishing that deals with the Sport Broadcasting Act. That a broadcasting controversy in the 70s, where NBC and CBS both thought they were in compliance with the act, and they did two separate things. Excuse me, so I might do that. Which rookie will be a bigger star long-term, Kenneth or Tyler? I would probably wager on Tyler, just because Kenneth seems like a boomer bust kind of player. Big plays and then nothing. Tyler's very well-rounded. $5 again from the Smoke Break. Thank you so much. You think Hooker falls to the second round, then God bless Matt. Honestly, I think Hooker, you want the 50-year option. If you're taking a QB, you want the 50-year option. So I could see 5 QBs going in the first round. That's why I don't get taking a QB in the second or third round. Get the 50-year option. Get the 50-year option. And Hooker, for my money, right now, is the third best quarterback in this draft. I have to do more research. I have to do more film watching. But for my money, right now, Young, Stroud, and then Hooker. Not Will, not Richardson. Hooker's my 3. Right now, at least. Did I hear Breen call NFL games for Fox in 96? I did not. No, I did not. ESPN 30 for 30 on Bounty Gate could be good. Could be, yeah. I mean, 30 for 30 is usually very good, so. What other team deserves a movie? Say... what other teams deserves a movie? And there are some crazy stories with some of these teams. There's some crazy stories with some of these teams. I would say the Lions, when... What year? Was it 56? No, it wasn't 50. I think it was 55. No, not 55. Wow. It's 57. 57. Buddy Parker resigned as head coach, like, right before the season started. Right before the season started. And then they ended up winning the championship. Made the championship. Yeah, I'll definitely look that up. Oh, the Texans uniform is getting stale. Yeah, I think so. 85 Bears. The problem with the 85 Bears, there's no adversity. There's no adversity. You need adversity. You need a challenge. There is... Sorry. Oh, about that. I had to readjust, and I just got a cramp, so give me one quick second. All right. We are good. Oh man, could you guys hear that? Could you guys? I don't know if you guys could hear that. Cause I muted, but I don't know if you guys could hear that. Oh, you could hear it on Twitch. Oh, you could hear it on Twitch. Yeah, I forgot to mute on Twitch. Oh man, yeah, no, that was. Oh god, that was. Yeah, if you heard that on Twitch, my apologies. That was holy cow. I just moved my leg and it just went in a bad direction. Holy cow. Like, I legitimately couldn't move it for 60 seconds. I felt that something was... Whew. Holy cow. That hurt. That hurt a lot. Alright, I think we're okay. That was terrible. I turned off the video, thank God for that. But in terms of the 85 Bears, there was no adversity. The playoff games were not very tight. They were good the whole way through. Maybe the 88 Niners, Bill Walsh's last stand, you could do that. Yeah, if you could hear that says a lot about how bad that was. It's happened before, but not on stream. And thank you for the follow, Richard Hilson. Thank you so much for the follow. I should have watched the Twitch stream. I missed it. There's no video on the Twitch stream. That's the difference. There's no video on the Twitch stream. Today's 16-year anniversary of Boise State running back Ian Johnson. The engagement. Oh man, 16 years ago. I feel old. Oh my goodness. I'm okay. At least nothing's broken. At least I can move it now without it hurting too much. I don't even know if that was a cramp or not. I legitimately don't know what that was. Texans Colts gonna be an early season Thursday football dump. Amazon will not allow that. Amazon will not allow that whatsoever. They'll probably do like Texans Titans, but Texans Colts, they will not allow that. So I still do video requests. Can I do every Plaxico Burst catch from a... I don't do highlights anymore. I don't do highlights. And video requests, I still do, like, I still take your ideas. It just, Patreon, you get moved to the front of the queue. But in terms of highlights, I don't do those anymore. I don't do highlight videos. Highlight videos are really just a way for me to funnel, I guess, stuff into the main video, because there's no real incentive for you to watch a history video necessarily. It doesn't get popped up in the algorithm. But highlight videos, I do. Like, if you search for a player, it pops up. So I did those, but that was just a way to funnel it in. And then it got to a point where the history videos, which is what I love doing, overtook the highlight videos, which was great. And then I just stopped doing those. Plus, I don't think I'd be able to stay monetized, because I'm not really offering any commentary. YouTube's kind of cracking down on no commentary channels, so. Speaking of Amazon, thank God Thursday Football's over for the season. I mean, the quality of games was terrible, the broadcast booth was terrible, but I will say the graphics were great, the presentation was great, the theme music is great, the cameras were great, no issues buffering. Who am I taking for Monday Night Football? Give me the Bills. Favorite highlight video? Favorite highlight video? The fact that I was able to find every touchdown by a guy named Fair Hooker is probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite. Just the fact that I was able to find every touchdown by Fair Hooker. Michael Vick highlight video did like an hour for... It was like an hour. That was a while. Do highlight videos for shorts. I mean... There's nothing really from a highlight video that I can offer that other channels can't do the same thing of. I didn't watch the Pat McAfee broadcast. I never watched the Pat McAfee broadcast. Yeah, it was a receiver on the Browns in the 60s and the 70s. His name is Fair Hooker. Coaches didn't like 2 bye weeks because they felt it didn't add anything. Networks really hated it because there were too many weeks with terrible slates of games. Yeah, the problem was that not the 2 bye weeks were bad, but the execution was just terrible. The problem was that you had bye weeks that were taking place week 4 and week 7, or weeks 5 and 8. No, you don't need a bye week that close to each other. You don't need that. Take the first bye week 5, the second bye week 13, or whatever. You don't need bye weeks within a month of each other, or 3 weeks of each other. You don't need that. The execution was just terrible. How much would it take for the Browns to get to the conference championship in next year? Watson needs to play like he did today, and not like he has the past month. And then from there, it still needs some pieces. But, look, it all comes down to the quarterback. Was Al Michaels worse than Greg Gumbel? I would say so. Then again, he didn't have a lot to work with, but he was just so lethargic this year. So lethargic. Like he was phoning it in almost. They were both terrible. All right, let me see what other questions we have. I still have a ton of questions. I want to see if I can get to them all in the next 10 minutes, because I have to work on the video that's coming out. So we've been on for over 2 hours. If you want to have your question moved to the front of the queue, we have the donations you can do, but otherwise I'm just going to go in the order that I see the questions, and hopefully I get to everything. Will the Jags still get plenty of Spiro Adidas games next year? I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're still going to get a few. It's our honor tradition as an AFC South team. I think Shao Kahn will build Jacksonville a new stadium. I am fully on board with that. I'm on board with the new stadium, especially after seeing SoFi. How long have Kugler and Sanchez been together? I think 3 years. They've been very good. I will say they've been very good. Do I think Al will be back on Thursday Night Football? Yes. He has millions of reasons to stay. I think he will play out his contract and then retire. No city should have 2 teams. New York should. New York absolutely should. LA you can debate. New York absolutely should. Let's see. Half of me wishes Shad Khan made Urban a real Ted Lasso and forced him to manage Fulham. Oh, God. I would hate that. Oh, we're talking city, not state. We're just talking city. Florida's three with their own different cities. New York City. not New York State. Bengals to Kentucky. I mean, Louisville could have a team, I guess, but probably not. 72 Dolphins deserve a movie, a record which may be broken. Yeah, 72 could. I'm trying to think what other unknown teams could have movies about them. Not unknown, but I mean, Spiro's alright. It's more just Jay Feely is terrible. Because Spiro, I like him for basketball. He's very good calling basketball, March Madness. He's just not good for football. I liked him with Adam Archuleta. It just doesn't work with Feely. It doesn't work with Feely. The Lions' first home playoff game in January 2024, if they get there, it might be the loudest playoff crowd ever. I mean, if the Silverdome crowds are anything to go off of, I think you might be right. You might be right. He thinks New York City should have two because it exists, but it shouldn't. Yeah, but every single league in New York has two teams. Every single league that has a team in New York has two. MLB, NBA, NHL. New York City, remember, it encompasses all 5 boroughs and part of New Jersey and Long Island. My main takeaway, football just doesn't translate to movie as well as basketball or baseball or boxing. Well, that's because also boxing is very choreographed. It's very choreography-based, where you can make it look good. Football, it is tough to make it look good and make it look like they know what they're doing. And baseball, kind of the same way because it's very stationary in terms of there's not a lot of movement. It's you stand at the plate and then you run. Football, you have to have 22 guys. It doesn't really work great in a movie setting. I don't know if you read the question earlier that I asked, but do you see Brad Nesler calling a Week 18 game for CBS? No, I don't think so. JG9 in the rain delay with the cramp. Does anyone see the Browns, Lions, or Texans ever making the Super Bowl? Ever is a strong word. I could see that. Yeah, I would see it. I would see it. Was I cursing during the cramp? No, I was not. I was not cursing during the cramp, and people on Twitch can attest to that. Let's see. So also, in terms of what's on the agenda, Wednesday night, NFL Trivia, 9 p.m. Eastern. Should be a great one. I think we gave away, $70 last time? It was a lot of money. Gave away a lot of money, so that was good. Hopefully we give away a lot of money to our winner on Wednesday. We will have a stream next Wednesday night. Not next Wednesday night. Sunday night, because the Jaguars game is officially confirmed for Saturday night, which is awesome. So it'll be a long, long day. It'll be a long day. I'll be getting up early and then watching football and then doing a stream and then doing a video. It'll be a long, long day. It'll be a long, long day. But it'll be good. It'll be good. Be worth it if we win. It'll be worth it if we win. I will say that. Oh, they definitely sounded happy that they were done. They definitely sounded happy that they were done. Why the NFL moved for Y2K? Because there was genuine concern that the teams were going to play on Y2K. I could do a video on that. I have thought about that. If they changed their schedule for Y2K. Good at not cursing. I like your clean manner of doing videos. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I like keeping it family friendly. Joe Buck, yes. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are calling the Jaguars game. No, I didn't say that. I did not say that. I said I had a cramp. I did not say that. Did not say. I had a cramp. I would never admit on stream. If I did, I would never admit on stream that I did that. I had a cramp. Though I have trusted a fart before. Like a lot of you probably have. Do a video on the 1950 Dallas Texans who pretty much became the Colts. Just stuff to just stuff to find or get video. Lamar Jackson cramp. Kind of. JG9 going full Booker McFarland on us. Has Buck improved a lot ever since he and Aikman moved to ESPN? I've noticed no difference. Buck and Aikman have been very good for a very long time. The last decade or so, Buck has improved tremendously. They're the same they've always been. They're the same they've always been. Why no face on Twitch? It's more just Twitch Studio would crash if I did that. It has nothing to do with me not wanting to show my face on Twitch. It's more just, it would crash. It would completely crash. You've seen, if you've been on this stream, you've seen that what happens when someone follows on Twitch or donates on Twitch, how it freezes. You add a live video to that, it would be a train wreck. Now, when I get a studio, I'll get a desktop. Because right now I'm doing this on my laptop, my 13-inch MacBook Pro. When I get a studio, sometime in April, I'll get a desktop, and we could probably do something there. But right now it is not possible for me to... It's really just a technical matter. I could not do it. Yeah, 2017 Eagles could be a movie too. Have I ever eaten an In-N-Out burger? I'm not a burger guy. I'm not a burger guy. Do I see Tom Brenneman returning to do NFL games? No way. No way. No one is touching him with a 10-foot pole. No one is touching him. Brenneman shot himself in the foot. He will never broadcast another game in any of the Big Four sports leagues. He is done. He is done. What would I do if Mike Goldberg became the #1 announcer for Fox? He became the #1. Pray to God we don't get his games, and if we did, I'd probably just find a radio broadcast. I've never visited Albuquerque. I've never visited New Mexico. Do I think Salt Lake City could become a possibility for expansion or a possibility for relocation? I don't see how the NFL in Utah could ever work just because of the Mormon population and Sundays. It's tough. Real Salt Lake never played games on Sundays. Only recently when they had to. Have they did they have to play on Sundays. But teams don't play on Sunday in Utah for a reason. It won't work. Yeah, Kevin Harlan's still calling games. Yeah, Tom Brenneman and the NC State radio guy calling a Browns Commanders game. Oh, that'd be the disaster broadcast of the year. Yeah, can we stream on Twitch and a YouTube on... Yeah. I don't know how. I mean, you might be able to hear the fan. That's from my laptop. My battery is kind of shot. But it's fine. I can do it. It's not great, but I can do it. Yeah, Buck calling an NBA game probably wouldn't work. He doesn't really seem like a high-paced announcer, fast-paced announcer. Have I seen the trailer for that movie 80 for Brady? Oh, man, have I seen it? Yes. I couldn't avoid it today. I couldn't avoid it with all the commercials. I couldn't avoid it. What do I think about that movie? Oh, yeah, I don't have any mods, so I genuinely have no idea how to do this. So, I genuinely have no idea how to do this. But yeah, I do want to get rid of the 69mega.com spam. Okay, where was I? Because now I can't see it. Okay, here we go. A Fox soccer announcers, I think. I don't like Landon Donovan. Landon Donovan offers nothing, but I do like the #1 team. But 80 for Brady. 80 for Brady. Here's my thought on that movie. Aside from the fact that it looks terrible. It looks absolutely terrible. It looks very predictable. My guess, if I had to guess the plot, here's the guess of the plot. There's this woman who loves Tom Brady, and she is about to die. She's going to die within next year. They're in the Super Bowl, and they have to figure out a way to get into the game, cross it off her bucket list. And they don't have a ticket to the game, and they find a way to get in just in time to watch the comeback. So they miss the first half, and they get in time for the second half when they're down 28-3. And from that point on, that's my prediction for this movie. That's my predictions for this movie. The movie looks terrible. I don't know who it appeals to. And the crazy part to me, here's the crazy part. Think of when most movies make their money. Think of when they make their money. 90% of the broadcast, or 90% of the box office that they get, is on the first and the second weekend. When is the second weekend for this movie? It's Super Bowl weekend. Super Bowl Sunday. No one is watching this movie on Super Bowl Sunday. No one. Because the only way you're watching this movie is if you're into football. But, I mean, most people that are into football are watching the Super Bowl. So you just lost an entire day of your box office. The 6 biggest days of box office, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, weeks 1 and 2. You just lost one. Why are you doing it now? Why are you doing it now? It just makes no sense. It looks terrible. It's not going to break even unless the budget is under $10 million and is not turning a profit whatsoever. It looks awful. I might see it just to pan it and do a review on it. It looks so bad. It looks terrible. My guess is it's just going to be a copy and paste, but way worse. I forget the name of the movie. My friend showed it to me. It was actually pretty good. It was a guy who wanted to see The Phantom Menace, who was about to die, and his wish was to see The Phantom Menace before it came out. So they did a road trip to try and watch it. I forget what movie that was, but my guess is it's just going to be a copy and paste of that. I don't know what the whole point is. Favorite football movie? Alright, this is going to sound crazy, because I admit there are flaws. There are major flaws with this movie. Draft Day. I love Draft Day. Draft Day is my all-time guilty pleasure. I admit there are flaws with that movie, but Draft Day, I have so much fun watching it every year during the draft. And I love Draft Day. I love Draft Day. And then the Phantom Menace killed him. Misa take offense to that comment. Which grosses at the box office less, 80 for Brady or United Passions? I think, 80 for Brady would have to make like $1 to gross more than United Passions? That was terrible. That was such a terrible... They lose that much to FTX. I don't get why the USA has commercials. It gets so much free advertising from people in the military. That's what I heard about them. Yeah, I don't get... The whole point of the USA ads last year was, here's this service. You can't use it. They literally took the South Park episode of Cartman Land, where Cartman buys an amusement park and just puts out an ad that says you can't come. And they literally decided, let's base an entire $1 million ad campaign on it. I'm baffled. I was baffled. A video on how Mike Florio became a football insider. I don't know how he became an insider. Oh, and going back to the Fox soccer announcers. I was talking about the play-by-play color commentator. Studio needs a complete overhaul. Studio guys offered nothing. Studio offered absolutely nothing. Just like Salt Lake Monday Football exclusive. I don't think that would happen. I don't think they would ever do that. Eugene Robinson movie. Getting arrested and picking up a hooker right before the Super Bowl. It's very player-wise. There could be some good movies, player-wise. Why would Brady and Gronk agree to be in the movie? Money talks. Gronk agrees to be in anything. I don't know if you haven't realized that. Gronk will agree to be in anything. Nickelodeon. He dressed up like an elf for Nickelodeon on NFL CBS. He hosted the Kids' Choice Awards. He's been in some random stuff. Gronk was probably very easy to get. Oh, I do love The Blind Side. Does 80 for Brady have potential to be so bad it's good? I don't think so. It looks competently made in the sense that it looks like they know what they're doing to an extent. I don't think it has the vibes of a so bad it's good movie. I'm talking like The Room. Like nothing like that. What does our schedule look like now that I'm not in school anymore? So it's usually, this is going to sound weird. So I wake up at about 12 p.m. and I work till 6 in the morning. And then do it all over again. Now, that's partly because football season, and I can't really do videos about stuff that I want to talk about until after the games are done. So I kind of have to do it like that. But in the off season, it'll be a more normal schedule. But it will be I mean, work-wise, it's exactly the same, if not more. Oh, and in terms of sports movie, Moneyball, I'm seeing a lot of comments for Moneyball. Yeah, Moneyball is my favorite sports movie. I want to make that clear. Draft Day is my favorite football movie. Moneyball is my favorite sports movie and one of my top 5 movies of all time. Moneyball is one of those movies where if it's on TV, I will stop whatever I'm doing and watch it. I will do that. Yeah, Moneyball was phenomenal. Moneyball was phenomenal. Okay, it is 1:38. We've been on for over 2.5 hours. I think at this point, I'm going to call it a night on there. And no, Hackett will not make dumb decisions this week. First time ever. So here's the agenda. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, 7 hours. I still have to work on the video. So I'll be up for a couple more hours doing that. We'll have a JG9 video coming out tomorrow. We'll have a JG9 short at 4 o'clock. Hopefully a JG8 video at 6 p.m. If not, we'll do that. We do have a $5 from Vince Brown. Thank you so much, Vince. Thank you so much. I don't know if you have a question attached to that. I can get to that one. I can get to that one if you have a question attached. But thank you so much. It really means a lot. We still have over 100 people on at 1:40 in the morning. This is incredible. This is incredible. No dumb decisions today. No dumb decisions. The video dropping is a Jaguars related video. It's not dumb decisions. There's nothing really. I don't want to force dumb decisions. I don't want to force it. There was nothing really dumb decisions worthy today. I was shocked. I was very, very shocked. So with that being said, we have that coming up at 9, 4 o'clock. I might drop a JGA video at 6 o'clock. If not, it's coming out Tuesday. And we will have trivia on Wednesday night. And we'll have a live stream on Sunday night recapping Week 18. Hopefully celebrating the Jaguars in the playoffs. Hopefully. We will see. It is a lot has to happen. Because I'm very worried about this game. It's the biggest regular season game in franchise history. So I'm very, very worried about that game. If you want videos early or you want to... Yeah, I never intended dumb decisions to be weekly. It just happened this year because coaches are stupid. Coaches are making dumb decisions. Houston showing up to even try to play the Jags was a dumb decision. Yeah, I think Summerall retired and Madden was like, I don't want to call games without Summerall. Like, I want to be out of my contracts to call Monday Night Football. So, Patreon if you want early access to videos. And, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a phenomenal stream. So many of you came out. Love to see it. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, this is Jaguar9 signing off. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. And I will see you guys on Wednesday night for some NFL trivia at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I will see you guys in 7 hours when I drop the next video.